let's get into it. Let's talk about some things. I want to talk about how Tyrese is a freaking clown. Please don't play. Oh my gosh, in a second I start talking. Tyrese has to pay his ex-wife $258,000, and then he has to pay her attorney $400,000, all because he didn't want to pay $10,000 a month in child support. I have a question. Do you have to pay taxes on child support? Like, what is that about? He said, homegirl makes way enough money and she doesn't need $10,000 a month. Tyrese also says the reason why he didn't pay the $10,000 a month was because she makes too much money. Also, he felt like the judge that issued the judgment of $10K a month was racist or is racist. And so I'm like, what? What does that have to do with you giving $10,000 a month to your black wife? How is that racism? Or is she black? I don't know. I just find that so absolutely hilarious. But also, Tyrese is a clown because not only does he not want to pay $10K a month, he also was like, remember on the Breakfast Club, I think it was last year, he was like, I wanted her, his ex-wife, he was like, there's no like communication or something between him and his ex-wife. And he's like, I just wanted her to, she came to drop off the kid. And he's like, I just wanted her to um, look at look around, look at our house, look at the land that we built, and just be grateful. Basically, be grateful that she had this opportunity and to also like want to try to reconcile. It's like, no, you're ridiculous. Why would she want to reconcile with your crazy ass? Tyrese, and then he was on, I think there's a picture. He was on his Instagram and he looked like a whole ass mess. Look at him. Like, where is he going? Why are you dressed like that? Just randomly. I think he was giving like his receipts, his quote unquote receipts or whatever. Like Tyrese is ridiculous. Tyrese needs help. Tyrese. And then you remember like not too long ago, Kimberell, she was in the hospital and he blurted out, she couldn't pay her I think it was $10,000 too, or 5,000 hospital bill. And so he was like, can y'all send her make her GoFundMe or something? And people started sending her cash apps. And it's just like Tyrese is like he's borderline Kanye West. Norma Gibson. Child, where do you find these name people at? Tyrese is Capricorn. Tyrese is ridiculous. Y'all gotta pray for Tyrese. I'm not praying for him. Anyways, what's next? Candy and Nick Cannon. I don't understand why. I'm live, right? Yeah. I don't understand why Candy wanted to talk to Nick Cannon. He's another clown. Like, I feel like, why do we keep giving Nick Cannon a platform to talk about what? If you're not going to explain coherently what what these thousands of babies are for, then if you're not going to give us the real answer, then you need to get out. I'm going to erase it. You need to get out of here, sir. Next, Jamie Foxx. Okay, so I don't think anybody's really said it, but I think he's had a stroke, which is crazy. Let me write that correctly. He's had a stroke, and I came across this like absolutely, in my opinion, ridiculous post, and it was saying, make sure you take off. Oh no, it was saying Jamie Foxx had a stroke, and with 8 days left, let me get it together. With 8 days left of filming, because he was filming this movie in Atlanta, I believe. With 8 days left of filming, they replaced him. Well, not replaced him, but they used a stunt double for him. And they were like, make sure you take your time off for use your PTO or whatever. One of those PTO uh, campaigns. Use your PTO because the job doesn't care about you. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with PTO. Okay. He had a freaking stroke. He didn't just, catch the flu and they replaced him, or quote unquote replaced him. I, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, he's shooting a movie. It costs money to make movies. There's a time schedule. There's production schedules. There is schedules and money put into the schedule, money putting into the movie. The more you wait to make the movie, the more money it costs. Like, don't we all know this by now? Like, why would you say that? He had a stroke. And then now they're saying he had to be revived on the scene. Like, this wasn't just, he broke his leg. He got ran over. This is a stroke. It's just like anything to like bring it back. Like, I get it. A lot of corporations, a lot of these jobs don't care about us. They don't. A lot of these managers, I know my managers, they give me, angina every now and then. But I'm just like, yes, use your PTO, but if you have a stroke, I think still even we might even have time you might have time to come back to your job. Jamie Foxx does not have time to go back to his job after he had the stroke. Like, I think they're done filming by this point. Anyways. Secondly, let me quickly discuss Ravin. I can't ever get this right. This freaking thing. Ravin Simone. Annalise Vanderpoor, I think that's how you say her name, was on the Chrisley Romano podcast where she talks to like Chrisley Romano, Even Stevens. She's from Even Stevens on Disney. If you guys don't know, Kim Possible on Disney. I think that's really all I know her from. Oh, Cadet Kelly. Yeah, those are like 3 things I can put my mind to. She had like a cooking show that she would bring on like all the Disney people or the famous childhood stars. And now I think she switched to like podcasting and having more of an intimate conversation with them. And this little viral clip is going, well, not viral, it's kind of viral, but this little clip is going around. And I think it's not necessarily painting the right picture that I've heard for years, but hey, what do I know? I don't work at Disney. But it was basically saying like Disney was like kind of racist because they couldn't necessarily see Raven as the main character on That's a Raven. Now, when it started, like the conception of That's a Raven, it was initially called Totally Psychic or Silly Psychic, something psychic. And so she said Raven ended up being the funniest person on the set. So they ended up giving it to Raven. And so I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't understand. I don't necessarily see, because from my point of view, what I thought was Raven auditioned as the sidekick. she wasn't auditioning to be the main character. I don't know, and then there's that people I do forget Raven has that like we are the world. I am the children type mentality. Um I am not one race. I am all the races. That type of situation. So Raven doing that, she might not, be telling. I feel like if Raven was, but no, Raven works for Disney, so I don't think she would call them out racist. But people have said Disney is racist. I don't know. I haven't tuned into that side of Disney. But she was saying it was kind of racism, and I was just like, oh, I guess. Like, and I feel like why would they? I feel like back then got you definitely worked for your next role. Like Raven, I don't understand. That's the other thing. Raven was like 14 or so, and so I'm like, what kind of? I don't think she was necessarily. I should have done a little bit more looking at research, but I'm like, I don't feel like she was necessarily um coming to them with the title of the show, coming to them with the concept of the show. And she was like 15 back then. So fast forward to 10 years before, she was on like the Cosby Show. And so why would they give a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, why would they entice a 3-year going off of a 3-year-old's work for a main cast thing? Or maybe they did. No, why? I don't understand that because my other thing was like Countess Vaughn, right? Countess was on Moesha, and her starring in Moesha, helped her get on the Parkers, right? I don't know. Let me know if I'm making sense. I'm probably not. Anyways, that's so Raven. Ed Sheeran. Oh man, he's being sued by Marvin. Okay, wait. I don't think it was initially Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye's estate. I believe it was like the producer of Let's Get It On. I believe that's what I read. It was the producer of Let's Get It On. And Marvin Gaye and Marvin Gaye's estate came together. I feel like Marvin Gaye, the producer, went to Marvin Gaye's estate and was like, hey, something going on over here. So he's being sued because they think that his song Shape of You stole was replicated on. Wait, they think Let's Get It On was replicated or stolen using the same like sound to make the song Shape of You. Now, I had a hard time with this one because I believe the first time the Marvin Gaye, the blurred line situations, right? Where they end up getting millions from Pharrell, Robin Thicke, and who else was on that song? Just those two? I guess. They end up getting millions from that. And that one, I was like, I don't think I could tell, but I think they broke it down in court saying they changed not necessarily that this happened, but they're alleging, well, the courts found their evidence to be true. So I believe they said they changed the beat to make it slower. Because otherwise you can't really hear it. Like I don't hear it when I hear blurred lines. And I don't necessarily hear Let's Get It On with Shape of You. but I hear something because it's something in it that like changes that you hear it, but then you don't. Well, for me, it's like I hear it, but then I don't necessarily hear it. So I don't know how this is gonna go happen. I don't know. I don't think Ed Sheeran stole the song. Um, from my recollection, and his earlier work was really, really great. I feel like what was it, 2012? He had like an album out, the one with the green. And the one before then, he had some like really good songs in there, and they all, they kind of all sound alike, but they all are really good songs, and they all are just, him and a little computer and his guitar. I don't know how this. We're gonna see how this happens. I believe he went to start a court today. Also, this Michael. Oh, so the Michael Jackson. I mean, the Marvin Gaye estate wants him to stop singing the song, and I think pay him money. But I believe it's just really stop singing the song. Wait, let me see if I still have it in my. Okay, never mind. Forget it. Because I tweeted it last night, and it was basically stop singing the song, and I was like, oh. Now he has a couple of songs. See, because I'm like, all of his songs kind of sound alike. Like he's really talented, he's really good. But I'm like, most of his songs, they kind of all sound alike. So I'm just like, I don't tune in at this point because I'm just like, okay, what more can you do? But then again, I'm just like, why would he not? Um, if this is true, why would he not credit it? Credit it? Credit them? Because he credited No Scrubs, I believe, and Candy and Tiny, they caught a check. So I'm just like, why would he not credit it? It doesn't make sense. Also, you guys remember? I remember months or last year. What's her name? What's going on with the Dua Peep? I mean, Dua Lipa lawsuit about her song taking. Somebody took. They're saying the producer took elements from two different songs from this one group and put it to one and made Don't Stop Now. No, it's not Don't Stop Now. It's one of her songs. What's going on with that, you guys? That's been quiet. Maybe we're just waiting for a trial date. Also, that Michael Jackson thing, I didn't think it was real, but I guess. Okay, let me write it down. Let me write it out for us. From my knowledge, Michael Jackson's estate is sliced up into three. It's Catherine Jackson, the Three Amigos, and some businessmen. Now, Catherine is supposed to, I just read, she's supposed to be going later this month to testify. My Lord. She's going to testify about whoever these men are, these businessmen. They're doing this $800 million secret deal, or this deal worth $100 million. And to sell his catalog. Now, wouldn't Michael Jackson's catalog be more than $800 million at this point? Am I tripping? Michael Jackson fans, make some noise and let me know. I feel like his catalog would be more than $800. I mean, 800 million. $800 million. So Catherine's basically saying you guys can't do that because we are all in this estate together. So I kind of feel like, well, yeah, if they're all in this together, no one person can do business without letting the other three know or having an agreement. Isn't there like 2 against 3, 1 against 3, something like that? Three or three. And why aren't the kids saying something? Like, hello, this is ridiculous. When they say you worth more than you are, you're worth more dead than you are alive. They weren't joking. Like, and plus $800 million. That's ridiculous. I feel it should be at least be like 1.5 billion at this point. With all, because they said a secret dealing, and I'm like, oh, they're doing like another musical. And then I kept reading, no, they're selling his catalog. Crazy, you guys. This is crazy. Okay, this is the Dare Show podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know if I got anything wrong with some of these deals. Some of this stuff is kind of crazy. Let me know what you think about Ed Sheeran. Shout out to Jamie Foxx. I guess he's getting better a little bit. Yeah, Strokes are no fun, as we see with Luther. Also, if you guys look at the Luther, you guys have to look. Go check out Luther's Facebook, because his estate, they're not letting his memory die at all, and I love it. They had, first of all, they had like, I don't know if this was a promo or whatever, but they had some kind of sponsorship. I mean, I don't know if it was a sponsor, if it was fake or not. That's what I meant. But Luther, Mr. Vandross, his estate, which I wonder who is under, because I was Rosie O'Donnell posted this video. I mean, not a video, but posted this the interview. Rosie O'Donnell, she posts a lot of her older. I just lost my pen. Oh no. She posts a lot of her talk show from back in the day, from the 90s, which I love, but I only watch the black people. But anyways, and he was saying he had like a bunch of nephews and a couple of nieces. So I'm like, I wonder, how are they doing? Are they in the estate? Do they get a little check every now and then? Because Luther had no kids, was unfortunate. Excuse me. You guys, he would have turned 72 this year. And you just think about like how many people are living so much longer. And 72 is so young. And he died when he was like 50. It's like mind blowing. 52, maybe? Damn. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. But anyway, so his estate, they had a little VIP trip this past V-Day, Valentine's Day, and like commemoration or whatever, lullation, trashation, whatever, for the album that came out, the re-release of his Radio City Music Hall album. And then they had like a little luncheon going on not too long ago, and I think it was for his like foundation or something. So I'm like, the Luther estate, I love it. They have put out that merch. They out here doing it, right? And I love that. That's really, really cool, really great. People love Luther Vandross. Still, like, he's still like one of the most amazing male vocalists ever. Okay. Thanks so much for listening to the Dead Show podcast. I'll be back another time. Let me know what you think. Bye.